You know, it's ironic how I have a rule on my channel about like no feet, and then like I'm complaining about how much my feet hurt. Everyone's like, "Ooh, are you being lewd?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'm like clearly describing the pain that I had to go through." Like when you come back and you feel like you've walked miles in a desert, it's so fucked up. I never understood how businesses could be like, "Oh, well, retail workers aren't allowed to have to sit down." Why? I'm not even the type of worker that like sits on his phone. Like I really don't like looking at my phone at work because it's I don't know. To me personally, I find it embarrassing when a customer has to like get you to pay attention to them. They're like, "Hey, are you busy?" And you look up and you're like, "Oh, you caught me on my phone." It's just embarrassing. I'd rather dodge all that shit. But basically, I had to do a lot of standing. And like it's easier when I'm helping people, but for the first 2 days, they just had a nigga standing there pitching some bullshit. Apparently the grocery chains, so it's like I think I already mentioned the brand in a later stream, but I think for security purposes, it's probably best not to say where I work online for strangers to dox me or get me fired. So probably not a good idea, but I low-key want to get fired because, like, I don't know. Not in love with the job, you know? Anyway, point is, I mean, they pay good. I'm going to get insurance, so, you know, I can't really complain. It was, oh, all you can do is stand all day, do nothing. Anyone could do that. You're lucky. It's like, hey, you know, I am lucky that there's AC and shit in there, but, like let me try to break it down. So I had to do this bullshit little sales promotion thing that they were doing last second. Even the HR guy was like, "Yeah, this thing's about some last second thing." And then the manager shows up and is like, "He can do it. He's full time." And oh, mind you, I got this job like really freaking fast, like way too fast. Like I'm talking like next, like you sign up one day next. No, I'm talking like you write your name down on a sheet of paper. Next day you get a phone call and they're like, "You're hired. You're full time. We'll see you on Thursday." Like it was that fast. Then I had to do a bunch of like document signing and like W-4 shit to do. Like it was just so fast. But the point is, they're short staffed. They were desperate. I could tell they were desperate when I walk because I was getting groceries. I walk in like I normally do, and I see this big thing of balloons, and it says we're hiring. And I was at this transitional point in my head where I was like, you know, I want to get some shit together. Like I hate being. I'm starting to get tired of being broke all the time, having to ask my family for loans and shit. Just gonna kind of. It was at the point where not where I wanted to give up on art, but like I realized, like, you know what, I'm not providing any income. That doesn't mean that I'm giving up on art, but like I should take like some time of my days into working so I can, like, you know, pay off my car, fix my credit. You know, I want to move and like travel and shit. I don't want to be stuck in New Jersey forever. You feel me? But man. Oh right. See, I'm going on tangents of explaining why my feet was hurting. So they had me doing this bullshit promotion thing. Wasn't fully. It was weird because like the first day they actually trained me like to do um like the cashier because like I signed up to be a full-time cashier, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll ring up people. I know how to run. I worked retail before at Staples. I know how to use a register. Practically anyone who knows how to use a calculator knows how to run a register. Okay, it's not that difficult. Like it gets a little tricky when it gets to like price overriding and what's it called, returns, but half the time you just gotta scan a receipt, punch in some numbers, and then it takes care of itself. Like it's not that hard. 9 times out of 10, if a customer wants a return, just give them the return, even if they're just dead wrong, even if the return policy is, you know, like they're like trying to return some shit from like a year ago. Just do it, just so they don't complain, you know, and they keep coming back. That's all they want to have that little bit of power in their mundane lives. Like they go to bulk grocery stores. People who go to bulk grocery stores are broke. I'm broke. So I go to this bulk grocery store, but now I work there, so I'm not as broke, but you know, still it could be better. Anyway, the point. See, I'm going on the tangent again. Get to the point. I'm so bad at this. The point I was trying to make is that okay, so they train me to do register. I sign up to do register, but basically they're trying, since I'm full time and they're short staffed, they're like, yeah, this guy could practically just do anything we tell him to do, and that seems to be what it is. And they seem to be avoiding on having me lift super heavy shit, but like, you know, it seems inevitable that's gonna end up happening in a bulk store where everything's super heavy in a bunch of boxes. Anyway, so the point is, if I ever get there, because I've been going these stands, they had me standing for 8 hours in front of a little kiosk thing they set up last second with some balloons and shit, passing out granola bars and water bottles, saying, "How are you, sir? How would you like? Would you like 10% off a upgrade to your bathroom or your kitchen?" Like home improvement shit, right? And you wouldn't think, like when you think home improvement, you think like Lowe's or Home Depot. You don't think, oh yeah, I'll go into that grocery chain that is just like Costco's. No one goes to Costco's and is like, oh yeah, I should do that new installment in my house or some shit. Maybe like if you go to IKEA, I can see that being a thing, but not when you go to get food. When you're like putting shit in your refrigerator, you're not thinking about like remodeling your whole fucking kitchen. You feel me? So of course, 98% of the people, I asked every single goddamn person because I didn't want to be perceived as lazy or disinterested in the job, even though I was. And you know, I really wanted and I had like my little mental breakdown, went to the loony bin and came out and was like, yeah, this isn't good for my mental health, so I'm going to quit. After that, I was like, yeah, I want a slow job that's very, you know, quiet and boring, and I don't have to think, and, you know, I just basically get paid to not do anything. And, you know, be careful what you fucking wish for. It turns out I get very anxious when I'm not doing anything. Like I'm not working or drawing or, you know, editing or whatever the fuck it is. And what happened is they just had me stand there for 8 hours, waiting for people to wander in. And, you know, it's the weekend, and you know, people, like, when people walk into a grocery store to grab their groceries, you know, they're trying to, like, get a chore. Like, no one likes getting groceries. No, like, that's why Grubhub was so big, because no one wants to cook food, no one wants to get their food. They just want to eat it. They want to stuff their mouths, and it be that. The whole transaction process of getting the food, no one enjoys, except, like, senior citizens, because they like an excuse to go outside. I don't know. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, see, I keep saying the point, even though, like, I never get to the fucking point. I got anxious, well, not anxious, but, like, I wasn't stressed out, but I was bored out of my goddamn mind because I wasn't doing anything. I was standing there, and like you can only stand so long on 2 feet. Like it's amazing. Like, did you know that you're not supposed to stand like just for 8 hours? It's not good for your legs. It's not good for your posture. I learned like a secret trick. Like if you stand, instead of making your legs horizontal like you normally do, make them diagonal, and it somewhat helps mitigate the pain. I had to, like, I've been wearing because at first I was wearing Converse, which are such flat top shoes, and they're usually comfortable. But the reason they're comfortable is because you're like, oh, this doesn't feel like a heavy shoe. I feel like I'm just barefoot, which you practically are. But when you're standing all day on concrete, this is a concrete floor. There's no carpet. There's no mats or padding or nothing. So I'm on no support. So you're barefoot. You know, it's you standing against, and I'm flat-footed too. So like you're on this hard flat surface that isn't comforting, and you're standing all day. And so the anxiety of doing nothing. And then, like, them breathing down my neck, you gotta sell these things, you gotta sell this new promotion, even though no one wants to fucking buy the promotion because it doesn't make sense. I even said, like, yo, when the manager, she's like, oh man, how come no one's buying it? The corporate says we can't have zero. The other stores are selling so many. I wonder why. I'm like, probably because either they live at a place where there aren't that many home improvement stores or whatever, or maybe it's just because it's a simple fact they're giving them some other shit aside from that bullshit. Normally, people like a home improvement job to have a contractor like change your bathroom or some shit is just like super expensive and super just super. It's not an immediate thing. Like, it's a luxury to do, and then on top of it, like, it's not something you get right away. So it's like, oh, you say 10%, but it's like, this is going to be a thing that's going to take months and months and months of processing and money and all that bullshit. So, and then on top of that, you know, it's quarantine. So it's like, yeah, I don't think a lot of people are thinking about remodeling during quarantine, you know? I think they're thinking about saving money. But what I'm trying to get at is, I was like, to the manager who's mumbling or so, oh, how come we're not fucking selling any? So, mentioned there's a free. I said every single thing. One manager said don't mention the 10% off because that's not technically true. If you read the fine print, it's on certain things, not all things. Don't mention. This is the funny thing. On the sign it said they do solar panels and generators for buildings, and the other sales rep who's from corporate, who only does this thing I'm temporarily doing for some extra cash, because they had to meet a quota. And it was, the sweet part is they're offering $10 for each thing I sold. At the end I sold 6, so it's like $60, which is nice, but like at the same time it's like, oh my god, this is so much standing and doing nothing. So basically, the sign, right? They said, oh, we do solar energy. Turns out they don't even fucking do that. So I don't even know why it was on the brochures and on the sign. It was just outright lying. I felt bad because there was this one woman who did sign up and was like, oh great, I've been needing new generators for my place. I'm like, uh-huh, that's nice. We definitely do that, sure. So she's in for like a very like awkward phone call when she calls corporate and is like, yo, so I'm here to get that 10% off the generators. They're like, what generators? You guys do generators, right? No, we don't. Who told you we do generators? The guy at the store, there was a sign and everything. It said generators. I even have the brochure. And it's going to be like, well, no. It's not true. So I don't know what the fuck happened there. Anyway, 8 hours later, feet are sore, and like, I felt embarrassed because, like, obviously at retail, there's this expectation that you're not allowed to sit down, which, again, I don't agree with. I think that's torture, borderline torture. Practically is torture. Let's just be honest. It's torture. And what did they say? They said, I think it was at the 6th hour where my legs were at the point of feeling like they were going to give out. And I was like, all right, yeah. So, can I please get a chair? And the one manager was like, oh, I skipped over the thing about how to sell it. I suggested, hey, you know, since this is an immediate thing, let's offer a 5% off coupon for anything in the store. Because, you know, at Staples, if you're a manager, you have the power to just make up a bullshit coupon out of your ass. It's like coupon for whatever. And you can just make it because that's what managers can do. And they said, oh, we can't do that. Only corporate can make those coupons. I'm like, really? You're the manager. Pretty sure you can do that. Unless maybe Staples is more lenient on that shit. But I don't know. Staples had all these esoteric rules that believing they had leniency in this one thing kind of does. I don't buy it. But the point I'm trying to make. All right, the other thing. Blah 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 blah. See, it's so boring. I don't even like care about it, and I'm kind of sick of it. But like, I need a vent about it because it's driving me insane. Not like stressed out insane, like I'm about to go to the loony bin insane. Just bored out of my mind, like blow my brains out from boredom insane. they wanted a nigga to so I had to stand there. All right, so the chair, that's the thing I was talking about. The chair. So I'm like, yo, my legs are about to give out. It's been 6 hours. Yeah, I took my breaks and everything, but 6 hours Converse on concrete just ain't it. So eventually, like, I'll just explain the thing with before I get into the chair thing. I solved the shoe thing by borrowing my brother's shoes, sneakers that have some padding, which litigates some of the pain, but it doesn't eliminate it. And it's the problem is I have really big feet. I have size 15 feet. I just ordered some size 16s because the 15s I got aren't doing it. My brother gave me some old 15s he had. They're not really doing super well. They're doing better than the Converse, but not great. And the issue is they're just too tight on my big feet. I just have large feet, unfortunately. So back to the chair, as I keep bringing up the chair and like not getting to the payoff. What happened with the chair? So I was like, yeah, I need a chair. And the first like manager, he was like, the guy was like, oh, don't mention the 10%. Then the next day, the other manager was like, I don't know, why can't you mention the 10%? Just mention the 10%. I'm like, oh, well, the other dude told me not to mention it. And I'm like, I'll say whatever you want to say. It's just he told me specifically, do you want to call him? He's your employee. He's your fellow manager. Like, it's not up to me, okay? So I was like, I'll say, if you tell me to sell snake oil and say it's a cure for coronavirus, I'll do that. Not because I'm a charlatan, but because you're paying me almost $15 an hour to do it. So like, I'll do whatever. I'll do practically anything, like aside from OnlyFans. Wink. So they said the guy was like, no, he can't fucking have it. I was like, I didn't even ask for a chair. I asked for a stool, because like at least a stool, when a customer walks up, I can very quickly stand back up. I'm not asking for like a freaking office chair, like a lounge chair. I'm just asking for like my legs to have a break, because like the 15s I took and the lunch break wasn't enough. Not with those shoes. It just wasn't enough. It felt also the soles in my Converse are worn out just because they've seen a lot of abuse. I wear Converse. Even if they were a new Converse, I probably wouldn't be comfortable either. Like, the padding is so chewed up that my heels felt like I was stepping on like the spikes from freaking Sonic the Hedgehog. When Sonic like trips over those spikes and he loses all his rings, that's what my feet felt like. And then so he's like, no, he can't have a stool. He's got to stand. I'm like, and then he sees me like fat and fucking like uncomfortable as shit, frowning at hearing him say, oh, he can't fucking sit. He sees me, he's just like, oh shit. I didn't think he was. He thought, I don't know what he thought. I guess he forgot I was there, or he didn't think I was listening in or whatever. It's funny because like this was like the store manager. And then there's like, it's weird. There's like a tree of the shit. Staples was a little weird. It was like a communist thing where everyone had the similar managerial title. They just worked in different parts of the store, but they all had the same power and privileges. However, this isn't really the case. It's more like a fiat, like a serf, like a class system where there's like the store manager who's the queen of the whole thing. Then there's like managers who have a little bit of authority, but they basically go down the chain of command. Essentially, there's several heads to the Hydra. But basically, the dude who seemed to be, I want to say, number 2 of the Hydra. So okay, the guy who I work directly with, he's number 3. I want to say. I don't quote me on that, but like, he seems alright. He's a pretty chill guy. He just seems like kind of like not fed up with the job, but like sorry, like he's the kind of guy who'll like diffuse like how much he hates his job with humor, which I can relate to. And he's the kind of guy that's like here's an example. This guy is so chill that like there's this long line for groceries because you know they don't have any cashiers, ergo that's why I'm hired. But I can't cashier because they won't give me the fucking pass keys and codes and shit to open the register and shit, which seems counterproductive. You hire a full-time cashier who knows what he's doing. It's not even like they didn't show me the machine. They showed me how to do it. I know how to do it. Apparently this place, you know, just their computer system or whatever, like I have a code, like I have an employee number, I get paid, I have a little card that's supposed to allow me to access the register, but every time I scan it to help somebody, it's like access denied. So I'm like, okay, it's been 3-4 days. When is this gonna work so I can like do the job you guys are paying me to do? And they're like, we'll try on Monday. Today's Monday. Didn't work. I don't know how to do it. The person who knows how to do it is going to be here until tomorrow. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be here until Thursday, so you better figure it out by then. Because I'm supposed to be by myself on freaking Saturday. So you better hope, unless you want to, like, loan me some nigga's library card. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so the third guy, they're short-staffed. This lady's in line. She's like, yeah, I couldn't get my meat from the deli department. You guys got to hire some people. You know, like freaking cap. The guy who's I work under, the third manager guy, like level 3 nigga, whatever. He's like, he said, look, don't tell me, tell unemployment. I was like, all right, that was kind of funny, man. He didn't like mumble it under his breath or like bring it up later. He said it like right in front of the lady. So I'm like, all right, this dude's chill, bro. He's pretty chill. Even it's funny because like he had to like feign being like, oh yeah, the promotion bro, or like, hey, did you get any sales? And I'm like, not zip, nada, or whatever. I ended up getting, I think at minimum I got 1 on 2 days, and then at maximum I got 5. But like that I thought was like luck, because the dude, like, I didn't call over the dude. He literally walked over to me and was like, can you do my door? And I'm like, it says we do doors. He set up the appointment, and boom, there was $10 in my pocket. Not directly. It's just gonna take a while for. I explained the checking situation later. It's gonna take a while. Oh no, I didn't explain it. Yeah, they said the checks weren't gonna come in until like 2 weeks, on top of something else. So like, it's gonna be a nice little bonus, but I'm not even gonna remember by the time it comes in. I'll just be like, oh, did I do overtime or something? Honestly, in 2 weeks, I'm not going to remember. I don't even know if I'm going to work here in 2 weeks. I really don't. But the point I'm trying to make is, he's saying, here's the point. I sound like one of those people that's like, long story short, and then I just keep going on, that I don't shorten the story. But hey, man, we got a couple hours stream to get through, so some padding isn't gonna kill us, bruh. Some padding isn't gonna make me less funny, bruh. Basically, he was like, I sold one, and he like high fives. He's like, yeah, dude, you did it, because I'm a new employee. They gotta do the thing where they're like, hey, yeah, they gotta pat you on the back and be like, you did a good job, and to make me feel like I'm accomplishing something, so I can stay there and not feel like I've been standing for fucking hours doing nothing. And I didn't feign that fake corporate smile, like, oh yeah, I did it, I sold one, yay. And he was just like, alright, cool, alright, you don't give a fuck either. And then like he slowly kind of turned it down later. It was just like you get one, and I was like, yeah. He was like, alright, cool, thanks. And then if I didn't, he'd be like, you did what you could do. But like the manager was like gun ho, like, you gotta get at least 10. And I'm like, get the fuck up out of here. I've asked literally every nigga that's walked through those double doors. Some people see me and they try to avoid me. Like, it's really funny. Like, I'll talk to one person, they'll speed over their car, like, nope, don't talk to me, bro. Or I'll have one that's like, most people are cordial, and they'll just say no thank you. But like, some were like whiling, bro. Some are like, I'm not gonna because normally I say, oh, if you change your mind, there's free snacks and shit. He's just like, I'm not gonna change my mind, or like they'll see me and like, because it's funny because I sometimes do this when I walk in there. I always have this thing where you go forward and then left to get to the center row so you can see every aisle. But like, or you can just follow the wall, which is a little peculiar because you can't really see all the aisle numbers and shit. and you go past the electronics and the TVs and shit. Not a lot of people go into that. Some people buy TVs. I saw a dude wheel out like 2 big 4K flat screens, but like not a lot of people go in there to buy TVs. You know, they go in to get groceries. But yeah, I saw a lot of people. They see me, they were just straight up. I could tell by the way they saw me. In their eyes, they're like, "Oh, I do not want to deal with this," and they just did beeline through the TV section. They're like, "I don't care if this is the long way. I'd rather do this than take the shortcut and deal with the bullshit." Because no one likes the feeling of being sold to, or you know. And it's like, it's stupid, like, because it's like you're trying to get groceries. I'm trying to sell you, hey, you want to upgrade your bathroom? Like, who the fuck wants to upgrade their bathroom when they're getting groceries? Like, come on. Anyway, what was I gonna say? See, I forgot about the stool thing. The whole crux of the story was how my feet hurt and the stool and the bullshit. So the stool, I was like, yo, can I just get a stool? My legs are about to give out. I've been standing all day. I'm really tired. And the dude's like, do you take his 15? And the because he sees that I overheard him saying, oh no, he can't have a fucking stool. He's got to stand. And he's not allowed to, or so whatever the corporate bullshit is. I don't think he generally believes that. Like, because a lot of people say, oh well, customers perceive someone sitting down as lazy or not as attentive to their needs, which isn't true. As long as you're giving direct eye contact and you're in your station, they know you're working. Like, come on. Like we're not NPCs from Legend of Zelda or Pokemon where we're always standing there waiting for the protagonist to walk by and interact with us. That's not how customer service works. No one as a customer expects someone to stand there the whole shift as the thing is going on. Like they wouldn't expect to do it, so why would they expect you to do it? I don't know. I think it's stupid. Anyway, I know people say, oh, well, standing desks, more ergonomic, standing's good for you. There's nothing wrong with standing. You lose a lot of calories from standing, but standing for 8 hours is just murder on the soles of my feet on concrete flooring and wearing Converse flat foot shoes. Like, it's just not comfortable for me. So, like, at the 7th hour, I was like, yo, I need a stool. He's like, oh, you can't have a stool, he's not allowed to. Which I think he doesn't even believe. I think what happened is when he was at the lower part of the totem pole, someone told him that shit, and then he was like, you know what, now that I'm in a position of power, you know, now I can finally, you know, pay it forward. It's like, bro, why it's time to break the cycle, man. Because it doesn't affect, unless you show me a chart that, oh, stores or customers sit, where employees sit down, see drastically less sales in places where people are forced to stand for 8 hours. I really don't believe you. So the guy sees me, he sees that I'm like, you know, fat and like out of shape and just like weak in the knees, and he's like, oh yeah, this dude looks like he's about to collapse. I forgot he's been here since like 10 o'clock and it's like it's almost 7 p.m. So he's like, not 7 p.m. What time is it? I left at 6, so it would have had to be 4 p.m. So he was like, all right, pull one of the. There were chairs like in the break room and shit. I don't know why he told me to do this. So they sell like furniture. So they have like, but you know, like furniture that a Staples or a grocery store is not like furniture. So they had like chairs, like those shitty foldable chairs that you would get if you were gonna do like some little barbecue bullshit. So he was like, yeah, take one of those out, which I was afraid of because I'm broke. I shop at this place. I know what chair they're talking about because I've owned one. I owned this little foldable chair because at the time I wanted my friends to come over, and I was like, you know, I don't have any chairs and I don't want niggas just like sitting on my mattress, which is just, you know, it makes me uncomfortable, you know, because
of the implication.
Anyway, so I get the little foldable chair. I'm sitting on it, and again, I'm double uncomfortable triple uncomfortable because A, it's a thin little metal stool. I'm a fat piece of shit. I can already hear it whining. I'm like, I hope this doesn't break like the one I had at home. It was the same brand chair, so I know it can break in a moment's notice. And when you're trying to not put all your weight on your ass and your back, leaning in the back of the chair, you can't really rest your feet, which was the whole purpose, because I'm leaning forward a bit to, and which is putting pressure on my knees, which is putting pressure on my feet. And so I was like, oh damn, there's no point in sitting here. But I'll just make sure you get up when the customers walk by. It's like, yeah, I'm not an idiot. Of course I'm gonna get up when a customer walks by, okay? My gosh, I know you guys are anti like human decency, but like, just let me sit down, bro. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, all right, maybe if I was part-time or if I was moving around having to do shit, load pallets and shit, or stock shelves, I'd get it, like why I wouldn't need a chair. But like, come on, I'm standing here promoting some bullshit that isn't even true according to the representative lady, and it's just such an esoteric. See, the problem with the store I'm working at is they want to be the quote-unquote non-stop shop, but non-stop shops don't work. I love speaking in metaphors. Basically, if you try to do a bunch of things instead of being really... Okay, no, I'm wording it wrong. Would you rather be mediocre in all of the things, or very competent in like one or two things? You see what I'm trying to say here? So, like, if you're trying to be a grocery store, sell food. If you're trying to be a grocery store and a place where you can change your tires and a place where you can buy mattresses and TVs and this and that, like, are you an electronics store? Are you a grocery store? And then there's a deli. Are you a butcher shop? Are you a and then there's this is the other kicker too. They have an optical place, so like an eye doctor to get glasses and shit. So it's like, which I don't even think the people who are there have a doctor's degree. I think they're just like niggas. They just have to read some bullshit training about glasses, and they're not like prescription glasses to my knowledge. They're like you know, when you go to a grocery store, they have those glasses that are like one size fits all, and they're just like, here's a prescription for the common eye thing instead of like the specific prescription for your eye bullshit. As someone who's worn glasses all my life, those glasses are flimsy, and the quote-unquote one size fits all prescription usually doesn't fucking work. Those bullshit over-the-counter reading glasses usually don't help. But I guess it's like, if you have barely bad eyes and you have no one, again, this is like a place for poor people to get shit in bulk. So like, if you don't have insurance and your eyes are shit and you need glasses and you can't afford to go to like Lens Crafters or some shit, you're probably gonna end up going to the place I work at, which is sad. But like, again, it's esoteric, so not a lot of people go there. But it takes a good chunk of the store, not a good chunk, but like, there's this whole chunk of the store where there's just like a glasses store in this big grocery chain that's like, it's more akin to Costco than it is to Walmart, but like Walmart-esque in like its size. It looks like a factory. It's a big place. It looks like an industrial factory, which it has to be, because you know they gotta store a lot of bulk shit. But basically, and in that department, you get to sit all day. So I should have probably signed up for optical. But I was under the stupid impression that you have to fucking have a PhD in eye doctory or whatever the fuck to fucking sell those fucking glasses. But, you know, I didn't know that. But it's whatever. So then the glasses... Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Let me drink some water, because now I'm, like, loopy in the head. I woke up at 5 a.m. I shouldn't be awake, but I'm not stopping my dreams to accommodate this store. So if we're going to do a faint stream, let's get it. I'd rather faint on stream than go to bed tonight with this lingering feeling of guilt, like, oh, I should have streamed. Anyway. I forgot what I was going to say. Right. The standing, the chair. So, I was triple uncomfortable because I'm leaning on my knees, which isn't helping my feet. all the people who've worked there for like years are looking at me like, what the fuck is that guy doing? He's just been standing there all day. Cause while they're like loading heavy shit and like stocking shelves and dealing with annoying Karens and shit, I'm just standing there walking up to people, constantly being told no thank you, and handing out water bottles and just like standing there. And while they're doing like all this busy work, which I initially signed up to do because I was like, you know, I'm going to be in retail. These are the things I want to do. I didn't expect to be a sales pitch guy. And so I'm standing there like, hey, you want to do some home improvement? Everyone's like, no, 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 no. And I'm sitting in this chair and everyone's looking at me like, look at Fatty McGee in this chair. And like, it sucks because there are these other vendors who were, you know, standing all day, who are, you know, clearly fitter than me. And they had, I could tell they planned their outfit because they had some like very comfortable shoes. And so they're like, look at this fat piece of shit sitting there doing nothing, getting paid to do nothing while we've been like stocking shit. He's a big guy too. He should be lifting some shit. So I feel fucking guilty as fuck. So I'm physically uncomfortable, I'm mentally uncomfortable, and I'm bored out of my mind. So I have like anxiety, pain, and then like this underlying sense of boredom. And I'm like, yo, I'm sitting there like, yo, the irony of it, right? Like, I wanted that quiet job where I could get paid to sit and do nothing, and I had it, and it's awful. It's awful. Like, you might just sound like the whole time I was doing it, I was like, I can't complain. I literally can't complain because, like, look at me sitting here doing nothing while everyone's, you know, running around scrambling to do shit, and they're understaffed, and, you know, I could be somewhat helping, you know, but they're like, no, you can't leave here. I'm like, wait, what if someone needs help over there? Someone will eventually get there to help. You cannot move from that spot at all. We need someone there 24/7. We have a certain quota to meet. I'm like, God damn, this is crazy. I'm a multitasker, you know, like, I'm good at multitasking, but you know, they do not want me waiting on people. They want me to stand there, say, hello, how are you doing today? Are you interested in some 10% off hardware? Which I'm pretty sure when I read the brochure said wasn't even true. That's why the dude said, don't mention the 10%. But it was just stupid. Like, people go to get groceries, and without an in-store coupon that's usable that day, what incentive do you have? Like, fucking free granola bars and water? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. I felt like a schmuck the whole day, like a stupid schmuck who got goofed. And it's like, it's funny too, because they low-key kind of tricked me, because they're like, oh yeah, they low-key kind of tricked me. They're like, oh yeah, what's it called? They said, oh yeah, it's great, you know, you're gonna be, you know, doing this little thing for 3 days, you know, you'll get $10 for each thing you sell, you know, you'll make quite a bit of extra money. I'm like, all right, cool, dope, that sounds awesome. And then, but they didn't, but then you watch the training video. How did I not get to the training? There's a training video. It's like, here's how to pitch the thing. It said, hi, would you like to do the thing? And like, how to do a customer if they say no thank you, and you just say, oh, have a good day, or whatever the fuck, you know. But then again, this is the same store where I walked in and this dude was standing there selling knives, and then like he was giving out like these free little complimentary like tiny tomato cutting knives to cut tomatoes, and he had them, and he cut them. Oh no, sorry. He was showing off the bigger knives that he wanted us to buy, and we all went and got our free knife, and he's like, is anyone interested in buying these, you know, the knives I'm trying to sell? And I'm assuming, you know, he was going to get commission from that shit, you know, or maybe he was going to get $10, maybe less than that. Who knows? The economy's changed after COVID. I don't know what happened. A lot of stores in my area are desperate. And I think part of it too has to do with the unemployment. Like, it's just like, if you have to choose between 11 an hour standing and doing some bullshit, or, you know, being at home claiming coronavirus, or actually having coronavirus and getting that unemployment check, you're picking the unemployment check. Like, if the unemployment, especially when the unemployment check's like $300 a week, you know, that covers a lot of shit. You know, like your basic needs, whereas the other does not. So, but you know, they're paying me like $15 again. I'm able to get insurance, so, you know, I'm pretty much covered. You know, it's just like like a boring retail job. But the point is, see, I keep saying someone should make a counter for every time I say the point is. I'm sorry, I'm being annoying. And that guy, he was just like, he was Asian. I'm only bringing this up because I don't care that he's Asian, but this is what he seemed to think that we all cared that he was Asian. So no one wanted to buy the knife. They were just standing there listening to his bullshit pitch because they just wanted a free knife. And they didn't want to feel bad grabbing a free knife and just walking away. I was tempted on walking away, but he made it sound all exciting, these knives, and I'm like, oh, a knife salesman. I've heard about these in like 1950s radio serials, but I've never seen like a domesticated like culinary well, that's not true. There's those, I don't know what that channel's called that old people watch in the morning where they're like, buy this kitchenware, or maybe the OWN, or maybe I forget. Is that Shark Tank lady? Her whole thing is those little infomercials where it's like, buy this thing for your kitchen, you need it. So basically the dude, like, everyone's standing there looking at him, no one wants to buy a thing. I'm straight up about to walk away, and the dude's just he's packing all his shit up. He's like, you fucking racist, fucking, he's like mumbling to himself. He's like, fucking racist, you don't want to buy my shit because I'm not white, and blah, 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 blah. You hate Asians, and all this shit. I was like, whoa, what the fuck, guy? Wow. I'm like, first of all, man, like, how can you, like, first of all, you're breaking code switching 101. When you're in that white voice, customer service shit to get paid, you never want to piss off the white people. Because once you do that shit, they're liable to fire your ass. But anyway, that dude was going off, and we're all just standing there just taking this verbal abuse, and I'm just like, wow, this nigga is wilding. But this dude was mad, and high-key he had a knife in his hand, so I wasn't trying to like piss him off any further. So, I said my sly little wow thing when he walked away, but the dude had a knife and he was kind of wilding. He was bugging out. I don't know, he had like a little mini panic attack. I don't know, maybe the job wasn't for him, because he's not, to my knowledge, isn't currently working there. This was an event years ago, but it was the same grocery chain. So I was basically doing what that guy did, and the whole time I was like, I can't really complain. I'm not gonna mumble in my breath being like, it's racist, they don't like me because I'm black. It's like, I highly doubt that. I even had a Trumper walk in with like a Make America Great Again hat, the treason hat. I've only seen it in YouTube videos. I've never seen it in real life. First time I've ever experienced someone wearing a Make America Great Again hat. But then again, poor people shop here, so it's like, whatever. And he's, him and his wife, I'm like, how are you? Just home for me? He said, oh, no, thank you. He was so nice. Despite the different political views. But yeah, so I had to do that for 3 days. I couldn't help anybody else. I couldn't help customers. I just had to stand there and get told no thank you for 3 days. It's terrible. But I couldn't complain because everyone's judging me, oh, you're sitting down, or oh, you're just doing nothing. And this one dude who, mind you, I've had a nasty little interaction with this guy before. His job is to stand at the front and wipe people's carts. So he doesn't have any judgment to get on me for just standing all day. But he's I go to leave on break and he's like, what did they hire you to do? And just kind of what the fuck? Who is this new nigga and why is he just standing there not doing anything? And I'm just like, look, bro, you're standing and barely doing anything. People don't want to see your sweaty ass wiping your car. At least I showered. See, that's the other thing too. A lot of the niggas there, see, I'm one of those fat people that is super self-conscious about not necessarily being fat, but self-conscious about how I'm perceived, and that whole stereotype of being stinky. I don't like that at all. I never want to sweat. I don't like being stinky. As I speak, there is an AC and a fan running on my face, and it's, I think, 90 degrees outside. Oh, it dropped to 80, but it was 90 degrees outside today. I do not like sweating. I don't like being perceived as sticky or stinky. I don't ever want that. But, some of these fat niggas in there, they just don't be taking showers before they come into work, which just not make sense to me. Especially when it's like air conditioned in there. So there's really no excuse to like be sweating and shit. Like I sweat a little bit today, but it was like 90 degrees, and sometimes the AC turns off because, you know, energy, to save energy. So it's like, you know, it's like I don't blame it for that, but at the same time, and I do a lot of walking and standing. See, I actually got to do some moving today, and it helped some people because the promotion finally ended. Today was the 4th day, or 3 days I had to do it from from Friday to Sunday. I had to do that bullshit. It finally fucking ended. But today they had me behind this desk. They call it the returns desk. I guess it's like, because the store's so big and a lot of people have to do returns, they made it its own separate thing. So normally, my understanding of returns is you just go to the cashier or maybe customer service and just get it returned. But this customer service desk is like its own thing. It had like 3 registers, 4 computers, I think like 2 phones. One of the phones worked, the other didn't. Only 1 register's being used. So they only had 1 person back there. She was super nice, nice as can be, but you can tell this job has been draining her soul for years. I could tell by the way she carries herself and the way she like talks to other people, and she tries her best. Like, she's never rude. She tries her best to be accommodating, but you can tell she just the I don't want to say doesn't give a fuck anymore, but I want to say the concept of caring. She puts off this Squidward tentacles energy of just like, kill me now, you know, just end my life. Like she gives off that attitude, which is like, you know, same. I feel that. And, you know, I'm like there all chipper and bouncy, like, hello, how can I help you today? Well, I can't really help you because I'm too new, so let this person help you. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll help. But she's pretty nice. She has to train me in like, I think I get 1 day of training with her next. And I don't even think I've learned a quarter of the shit I was supposed to learn back there. And that's apparently one of the most busy departments because people mess up their things all the time, or they're always trying to retroactively apply coupons they forgot about. And I'm supposed to sell like the store credit card and the store membership card and all that bullshit. So I had to learn how to do all that shit. Their computer system is just ancient, bro. Like, they have Windows computers, but like, I don't even want to say it's the OS. I don't know. It's the software they use to like ring up memberships and this and that. They need an overhaul. But like, apparently, like when I got hired, apparently all the things are changing. Like I can punch it in on my phone, which is pretty cool. I've never heard of a job doing that. They're trying to automate a lot of shit to like phones and shit, and getting rid of a lot of the ways they're training people. But like, they're understaffed. But I feel like this store is, I'm probably gonna jinx it because I've worked at a store that has closed before, and another store that was on the brink of closing and being very understaffed. But I don't know, this one I can see making money. A lot of people come in here. A lot of people make return trips, which is crazy to me because it's like, you're buying in bulk. You should be good for like 2 weeks. But you know, that's the trick of it. It's like, oh, it's so cheap. Why wouldn't I take advantage of this deal? That's how they get you. You think you're saving money, but in reality, you could if you just bought like the one thing and, you know, rationed it for 2 weeks. But instead, people, you know, they go a little overboard, just burn through the shit and eat it. They're like, oh, it's so cheap. I can just eat it all now. I have so much. I'm not going to run out. Then they run out in like a week when normally that could cover a dude for like maybe a month, to be honest. I still got that industrial box of ramen from them. It was too cheap. What was it, like 20 bucks or something? Not even. Like, for a crate of ramen. I don't even like ramen that much. I like Naruto. I like how Naruto eats ramen. I've been to a nice ramen place in Chicago that had like egg and actual toppings and beef and shit. Like, ramen's good. I'm just not like a big soup guy, especially now during the summer. But even in the winter, I'm just not I'm not a tea guy. I like tea, but like, I'm not a hot drinker guy. I like coffee, tea, soup. Not really for me, unless like I'm sick or I have a sore throat. Then like, I need that because it's the only way that like makes my throat feel better. I don't know, but I've been, knock on wood, I've been pretty healthy, considering everything going on. I got vaccinated. I didn't get sick. Now that I'm a quote unquote essential worker, I am a lot more exposed. But it's funny. I don't really wear a mask at work. I don't know. Maybe I should. I just had a coworker who had to call out because she had 102 fever. So maybe I should be wearing a mask. But I don't know how to explain it. Half the people up in there, not the service people, but the customers will walk in there either with their mask not on correctly, or it's half off, or their nose is sticking out and they're coughing and all this shit, to the point where I'm just just take them off. Not in a political sense. I'm not an anti-masker, but I'm very pro-mask. But if you're just not gonna wear it correctly, just you might as well just not have it on, because you look stupid. What was I gonna say? So yeah, that's that shitty job I got. I mentioned the name of it before in a previous stream. I'm just gonna refer to it as Costco's until proven otherwise. The actual name of the place is pretty funny. The acronym sounds like a sexual innuendo, but it's not. It was named after someone who had some unfortunate initials. But hey, it is what it is. They're paying me. Apparently, I get 30% off at Staples. The employee discount was only 10%, which is practically nothing. It was good, but it's practically nothing. When you get a 10% coupon off of anything, that's nothing. That's nothing. 10% of my math's probably completely wrong, but 10% of $10 is what? $1? Or that's probably not even right. It's probably 20. See, I'm bad at math. Don't quote me. I went to art school for a reason. I went to art school specifically because I was yeah, I'm done with math forever. I don't need it. I don't need math to draw cartoons. I mean, that's not necessarily true. There is mathematical art and geometry and perspective and rulers and shit, but I don't know, man. I get by with eyeballing my ruler. The numbers are faded off my ruler. I'm pretty precise with my hands, so I don't really aside from I don't know, I don't pull out a protractor. I'm not an architect, so I don't know, I just don't fuck with math. It just wasn't my thing. There's nothing wrong with math. Math is the key to the universe. The universal language is math. Everything can be broken down to ones and zeros and numbers. So, especially in a time where we're dealing with crypto, where money is not even based on a finite mineral, it's based on code. So, math is clearly important. It's just not important to me, and I'm okay with that. I have a basic education. I passed algebra 2. I barely passed. I had a trigonometry teacher tell me once. She was she pulled out everyone in the class because some people weren't doing well. And she's like, "You're gonna need trigonometry in college. You can't get to the next level. What are you trying to be?" And someone's like, "I'm a mathematician." And so you're not a mathematician, or an engineer. So to be an engineer, you're gonna need to know calculus, and you can't pass calculus without trigonometry. And she points to me. She's like, "What are you gonna do?" It's like, "I'm going to art school to draw cartoons." And then she just completely skipped me and just went to the next dude. I'm like, "See, your math absolutely. You need math to get ahead of you need trigonometry to get ahead of bullshit. Didn't work, huh? Looks like a fool." I was the exception. I'm special, but I still had to take the fucking class. I still had to get a fucking C. Actually, I don't think that's true. I think I got a B. I don't remember, but I had a pretty good grade point average, but I just did not care. I could care less about doing trigonometry. The only class I took seriously was art class, and that was an elective. I took history very seriously. It's funny, I used to be really into history, but then I realized it's less so that I was really into history and more so I was into Assassin's Creed. Or maybe the stories of historical figures, I should say. because I'm a storyteller at heart. So, you know, the story of history, because, you know, everyone, the old adage, history repeats itself. You know, there's a lot of motifs and lessons to be learned from certain historical things, like the fall of Rome and this and that. Like think about every like fantasy society. It's not all the time, but a good chunk of the time, it's based off the fall of Rome. Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. Half of them are based off actual kingdoms and political systems that rose and fell. So that's the interesting part of history to me. The story parts. The least interesting part of history to me is the dates and the factoids and bullshit. My one friend's a history major trying to be a history teacher, so he loves the stupid factoids. That's the encyclopedia shit isn't really for me. But again, he's the type of person that, according to him, doesn't have an imagination. Like what's it called? Aphasia? I think it's called aphasia. I could be wrong. Aphasia might be something completely else. But that thing where like where most people, when they think, they can picture things like in their head when they imagine. He can't imagine. Like, he just sees black. And he can understand words, he can process ideas, but he thinks about them in a literal sense, like in a factual way, not in a visual way. I'm a very visual person, art aside, but thinking wise, I always do better with a PowerPoint than I ever do with like a block of text. Like a block of text to me is just like, oh. That's why I use Audible to listen to my books. I can read, and I do actually find reading relaxing. It's just like when I see a block of text, I get this feeling of like anxiety or whatever. I'm just like, I can't look at this. I'm also the kind of guy who like will read, but like my brain, like, essentially, or like my thoughts are talking like blah 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 blah, and then like I'm reading. And there was a man named Ishmael, right? And like my brain, like sometimes the blah 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 talky part of my head that's thinking about something else will talk louder than the me that's trying to read the fucking book. So I end up having to reread the same paragraph 3 or 4 times before I understood every word in the order that it was said, and then process the information of that book. Now, you could say I'm just stupid, but I like to say I'm a visual learner. Anyway, so my friend is not a visual learner by any means. You know, he likes factoids, numbers, you know, factual bullshit. You know, he can't draw for shit. He draws sticks figure. Again, not everyone can draw. Not everyone's artistic, but like, I don't know. Like, again, he claims he has he has aphasia, so he doesn't have imagination, which just sounds so scary to me. I thrive on my imagination and talking to myself and going wild, and that's what made me the person I am today. And I wouldn't be the artist I am today without that visual library in my head. So imagine processing thoughts where it's just blackness, and then like maybe like you see lines of text in your head to process information. I don't know. That's scary to me. But hey, everyone's brain thinks differently, and everyone's brain has a certain niche that it's good at. So, you know, his brain is probably really sculpted for learning encyclopedia bullshit, so he can be a better history major. And so, you know, as long as he's doing that, good for him. I have no problem with that. Just not the what's, I forget. I think I was gonna say some stupid shit like whatever floats your boat, or not my cup of not my cup of tea. That was the idiom I was trying to say. Not my cup of tea. But you know, he's the boy, so it's whatever. El stupido. You can't imagine. Stupid. Picture a purple star. There's a block of text that's like, the star is purple. Stupid. And then yet I'm the guy who has to reread the same paragraph 3 times. Not because I can't read, Gotta emphasize, but because I have such a short attention span, it's stupid. Like, I'll read the thing in my head. I said the words. I know I said the words. I did not listen. Like, head listen or process or absorb, whatever you want to call it. The information went in one, not even one ear out the other. I went into my eyes. It was verbally produced in my head. And then it just went gone. But it's weird because, like, when you get into a book, after that initial bullshit, you start picturing shit and like the voices and the characters and like the movie starts playing in your head, you're like, damn, this feels so good. Like your imagination just kind of kicks off. But the audiobooks are more convenient for me because I can draw while listening to them. I can work out while listening to an audiobook. I can't do that while like sitting to read a book. I don't know. It's probably better for you to just sit quietly and read a book, not just to learn, but learn patience and just meditate, have some quiet instead of looking at your screen. But I don't know. This isn't paid by Audible. I'm just like an audiobook nigga. I don't know what to say. I need some water, bro. My throat is dry. I'm trying to keep the stream entertaining and lively, but good God, it is hot today. This water is sent from God. Dude, I could choose between sex and ice chips in my water and just chewing on ice chips in my very cold, refreshing drink. I don't know. Water might win this. I fucking love water, god damn it. So good. I also quit sugar recently. No more soda or juice. I'm trying to lose weight, so just water with my meals. Probably better. Also, the doc said I might be pre-diabetic, which would suck. No offense to anyone who is diabetic. I just don't want to be, you know? I really... I already got enough shit. I already got depression, being black, like being a furry, being queer. You know, do I need to add another fucking attribute? Like, I really don't need another one right now. Ooh. Excuse me, princess.